So we're going to come now to work with the foundation energy block release sequence. It's really grounding, and it allows us to work with our spines, maintaining spinal health, which helps us to maintain our physical, mental, and emotional well-being as well. So we're going to start in mountain posture. So bringing yourself feet hip width apart, thinking about having your feet in parallel. And just allow your toes to spread out and rest on the ground. Allow your feet to fully arrive on the floor. Those balls of your feet that you massaged, the heels that you bounced on. Notice where they connect into the ground. And if you wish, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Just focus on that connection down into the ground through your feet. Allow the feet to really settle, almost as if they're spreading out or spreading into the ground. And if you wish, you can visualize your strong roots traveling down into the earth, connecting and anchoring you. Connecting and anchoring you firmly to this planet, to our home, Mother Earth. And then from that deep connection in the earth, allowing your awareness to travel back up to where your feet connect with the ground. And then we're slowly going to bring our awareness up through our bodies. So taking that into your ankles, lifting and lengthening through those ankle joints, keeping them slightly flexed so that they're soft, without any tension. Imagine that space that you've created in those joints filling with light. Bringing your awareness up through those lower legs, through those calf muscles and shins and into your knees. And your knee joints lift and lengthen. Again, keeping that slight flex, that softness, so there's no tension, so that the energy can flow from your roots up your legs. Filling that space in your knee joints with light. Allowing those muscles in your legs to lengthen a little further, releasing any tension. And your awareness comes into your upper legs, your thighs and your quads, your hamstrings, up into your hips and your pelvis. And with your awareness in your hips and your pelvis, lightly engage your core muscles, your pelvic floor, your lower abdominal muscles, drawing them up and in 10%. And as they switch on, perhaps those leg muscles, those movement muscles have space to lengthen and release a little more tension. And as your core muscles switch on, you take your awareness to your tailbone and allow it to drop slightly towards the ground. Focusing on that connection down into the earth once more. And then from your tailbone, gradually bring your awareness vertebrae by vertebrae up along your spine. Lifting and lengthening between each vertebrae. Your coccyx, your tailbone, your sacrum, and into your lower lumbar spine. Allow that space to fill with light. Your awareness flows up along your spine into your mid-spine. You notice your ribs connect where they connect. And as you lift and lengthen, there's more space between each rib, and your rib cage opens, making space for your heart and lungs to work efficiently. Your sternum rises, opening your heart center. And your shoulders might roll back and down to allow your shoulder blades to come down towards each other at the back. Your arms and hands relaxed by your sides. Your awareness is at that point between your shoulder blades, and it flows up along your spine once more, lifting and lengthening, bringing light and spaciousness Perhaps your chin draws in a little to allow the back of your neck to lengthen a little further, and your awareness arrives at the crown of your head. Your whole body is filled with this sense of spaciousness and light. It brings ease and flexibility to your life, and the light brings healing and love. And your awareness flows from the crown of your head up into the sky above, connecting you to those wide open spaces, universal wisdom, the sun, the moon, and the stars. And you find yourself standing in perfect balance between the sky above and the earth below. Take a moment to notice how it feels to stand in Tadasana in mountain posture, filled with that space and healing light, your heart center open, deeply connected to the earth, and connected to all the wisdom and knowledge that you ever need. Slowly bring your weight slightly towards the front of your feet, keeping the heels on the ground. And then take your weight slightly back towards your heels, keeping the toes on the ground. Rock gently back and forwards with tiny movements, noticing the different parts of your feet that engage with the floor. Pause in the center and then take your weight to one side and then through to the other, moving from side to side. And then begin to make circles with your weight around the edges of your foot, bringing yourself forwards to one side, to the back and the other side, noticing all the different parts of your feet as that weight moves round. Pause and take the circles the other way, bringing yourself into full alignment. And returning to center. Feel that length in your body. Feel grounded and connected to the earth. Notice that length that you've made in your spine. And gently open your eyes if they're closed. And we're going to bring one hand to underneath our navel and then the other up overhead as if we're holding a large beach ball in front. Making sure your shoulders stay nice and relaxed and you've still got that beautiful length through your spine. Lifting through the crown of your head before flexing slightly to one side, bringing the hand over the top. Returning back to center and then swapping the hands round, allowing them to float round in a circle. Lengthening through the crown of your head all the way from those feet. And then flexing to the other side. And we're going to continue with this movement. We're going to add in our breath. Breathing in to lengthen. Breathing out to flex. Breathing in to return to center. And breathing out to rotate the arms, ready for the other side to breathe in and lengthen. To breathe out and flex, perhaps a little further each time. Breathing in to center and out to swap the arms, lifting and lengthening. Gently flexing and squeezing our kidneys, our liver and our spleen in turn. Alternating from side to side. Coordinating the movement with your breath. And then returning to center. Bringing your hands round in front, have them so that the palms of your hands face the wall behind you. Keep your elbows in slightly. Just take a moment to feel that connection down through your feet into the ground. Take a breath in and out to refresh your core. Breathe in and lengthen up through your arms. Breathe out, softening the elbows again. Breathing in, lengthening the hands towards the ceiling, keeping the elbows in. Breathing out, softening the elbows. Breathing in once more, and if you wish, you can come up onto the balls of your feet. And returning down, this time taking your hands out to the sides, shoulder height. Make sure you can see your fingers lightly out the corners of your eyes. Breathe in and bend your elbows, connect your fingers to your thumbs. Breathe out and extend away. Breathing in, fingers, thumbs connecting. Breathing out, releasing any tension. Letting go of any stress or any worries. Flicking all that out to the universe, for the universe to compost and return this fresh energy. And allowing your arms to come back down by your side. Rotating your arms now, so turning your wrists, your elbows and your shoulders in one way, and then turning your wrists, elbows and shoulders the other, keeping the hands so that you can still see them out the corners of your eyes. Your arms come up a little each time you do this movement. Notice the muscles squeezing down your arms as you work through those heart and lung meridians, stretching all the way to the tips of your thumbs. Beautiful. And then once your hands reach shoulder height, pausing with the hands facing upwards. Turn one hand so the palm faces the floor. And then take your head and gaze into the palm of the opposite hand. If you wish, visualize a mirror in the center of the palm of your hand. Your beautiful self is reflected, and you give yourself a smile. Swap and smile to your reflection in the other hand, turning the opposite hand through. And rotate this movement from side to side, offering yourself friendship, love, and compassion, allowing your arms to come down a little each time you do the movement until they return back down by your sides. And allowing your hands to come back down to your sides, before bringing them up onto your shoulders. And we're going to circle round to 3 times one way and then 3 times the other. So just take a breath in and breath out to refresh your core, and then breathe in and bring the elbows up through the front. Breathe out as you circle them round and down behind. Feel that openness across your chest and your sternum. Wonderful. And then pause and take those circles the opposite way. So you're taking your elbows up the back as you breathe in and bringing them round through the front as you breathe out. That's fabulous. And then releasing your hands down by your sides. Great. Just take a moment. If you need to stretch out at any point during this, because there's quite a lot of standing, just take that and do what's right for you. And so we connect back into mountain posture, and we're going to work with some movements with our neck. So if you've got any neck issues, keep these really small or visualize the movement. So just allow your core to engage again, that 10%. And feel that length in your spine. And then we're going to breathe in and lengthen through the crown of our head. And as we breathe out, take your chin slightly forwards and down towards your chest. From a point between your shoulder blades, begin to uncurl and stack each vertebrae up through your neck until you come to face the front once again. And then breathe out and take your chin slightly forwards and down. Breathing in and uncurling. And once more, taking that chin down. And then stacking each vertebrae one on top of the other to come back to the front. Keeping your shoulders and upper body still, keeping that length up through the crown of your head, breathing in. As you breathe out, this time taking your ear down towards one shoulder. Breathing in to come back up to center, before breathing out and taking the opposite ear to the other shoulder. Breathing in to center, breathing out, ear down to shoulder. Taking your awareness to those big muscles in your neck, allowing them to release and let go of any tension or tightness. Especially when we spend so much time online at the moment peering at our screens, these muscles can get quite tight as we take our head closer and closer to the screen. So it's lovely just to let them stretch out and ease any tension. And then returning back to center. Again, keeping your upper body still. This time as you breathe out, turning to look over one shoulder. It's as if you're following a line on the wall, so your eyes stay at the one height as you breathe out and turn to look to the side. And then you breathe in to bring your head slowly back to face the front before breathing out and turning slowly to look over the opposite shoulder. Breathing in, back to center. Do this a couple of times to each side. Gently moving our necks, our heads. Breathing in to center and breathing out to turn slowly to the side. That's great. And then this is the last one. Coming back to center. Fabulous. Working now with our spines a little more, we're going to bring our hands up in front, making sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed and keeping your elbows soft and your hands face your chest. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to turn our hips, our chest, our shoulders, and then our gaze. Keep your knees slightly bent or soft. And then as you breathe in, rotating back to the front, breathing out and twisting gently to the other side. Fantastic. Breathing in to come back to center. This time, turn out with that front foot. Bring your weight onto the front foot. Release the back heel as you twist round. And you can take your hand to your shoulder. So it's the hand that's closest to your computer screen. And then breathing in to release that hand and twist back round to face the front. Breathing out, twist, turning the opposite foot out. Weight onto front foot, release the back heel, hand to shoulder. Keep that length up through the crown of your head. Breathing in, coming back to center once more. We'll do it again and add another little bit onto it. So stepping out to the side, twisting round, weight onto the front foot, hand to shoulder. Take the back hand and continue to wrap it round to your lower back. Breathe in and lengthen up through the crown of your head. And as you breathe out, visualize or perhaps turn a little further. And then as you're ready to breathe in, releasing the hands and slowly twisting back round to the front, bringing the foot back to face the front. Turning out with the opposite foot. Taking your weight onto that front foot, release the back heel. Hand comes to shoulder and the back hand comes round to your lower back. Pause and breathe in to lengthen again through the crown of your head. Breathe out, perhaps turn a little further or visualize that you're twisting a little more. And then release the hands, breathe in and come back round to the front and bringing the hands back down by your sides. Fantastic. I'm going to do a quick demo of the next bit just to make sure that it's clear what I'm describing, because otherwise you're hanging upside down trying to hear what I'm up to. So I'm going to start doing it sideways just to show. And I'm going to say a little bit about this bit just before we come to do it. So this can be quite a hamstring stretch. If you find it really strong in your hamstrings, please keep that knee bent or perhaps bring your body slightly higher. Keep your body higher as well if you've got any blood pressure or heart problems. And when we're working with this side, we're going to lengthen our spine as we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're folding forwards. So you're working on that flow of energy along your spine, and visualizing that you're coming forward. So your hands will be wherever is right for you to work with how your hamstrings are today. I'm not going to demonstrate that to the other side. You can pretend I've done it. And again, there's different options in this position. So I've come down into the full squat here, taking my heels off the ground. Now, if it's not comfortable for you, for your knees to take your heels off the ground and come into the full squat, come into a partial squat. So I'm keeping my heels on the ground here. And I can still bring my hands up, palms away. before coming down towards the floor and into that forward bend. So there's different options. And if you're coming down into the forward bend, you don't have to come all the way down. Come to wherever's comfortable for you during this. And then to come finish, we uncurl all the way back up. So I'm going to talk you through, and we'll do it a little slower than that as well. So I'll stay facing the front this time as we start. So coming back into mountain posture, feet are hip width apart. You bring your hands just to that lower part of your back where they're on the top of your hip bones, keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed. Take a breath in and out to refresh your core. And then we're going to breathe in and lift our sternum. So our gaze comes to a point where the wall meets the ceiling. If you're indoors, you're making sure that you're keeping the back of your neck long as you lift. And then you fold from the hips, coming forwards a little. Relax the crown of your head, bend your knees a little bit, tuck your pelvis under and refresh that core. Slowly from your tailbone, uncurl, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other, bringing the crown of your head up last, coming to face the front. Lifting and lengthening through the sternum, raising your gaze a little. Folding forwards, perhaps coming a little further. Before relaxing your head, bending your knees, tucking your pelvis, engaging your core. Flowing up through your spine like a wave of light. Lifting and lengthening up through your sternum and your gaze before folding forwards. This time coming over as far as you wish. So perhaps coming all the way down, releasing your hands down towards the ground, relaxing your head and your neck. Pausing in forward bend. And then stepping out so that your feet are 2 to 3 feet apart. And you're going to turn one foot out to the side and bring your body around over that foot. Have your hands wherever's comfortable for you. So remember, they might be on your thighs, on your shin, your ankles. And as you breathe in, you're going to start from your tailbone and lengthen through all the way to the crown of your head. As you breathe out, you fold from the hips, softening, coming forwards. Visualizing that maybe you can take your body all the way down along that leg. And working with your breath, lengthening and softening. Perhaps gently saying hello to your hamstrings. No screaming hamstrings, please. Working with this as to what's right for you and your body today. And then releasing your hands, bringing yourself back round to the front, turning that foot to face the front. Swapping feet, so you're turning out the other foot and bringing your body around over that leg. Once again, having your hands wherever's right for you today. And as you breathe in, lengthening through from the base of your spine, all the way to the crown of your head. Breathing out and folding forwards. Keeping your head higher up if you've got any heart or blood pressure issues. Keeping your knee bent slightly, or perhaps more if your hamstrings are screaming at you. Working through. Remember, each side can be different. That's fab. And then bringing yourself slowly back round to the front, turning that foot to face the front, and then stepping back into feet hip width apart. And coming down into whatever variation of the squat is right for you today. So you might have your heels on the ground, or you might have them released, doing what's right for you. We're going to breathe in and bring the hands up, palms away from you. Breathe out, take the hands down towards the floor. Breathe in and take your tailbone up to the ceiling, coming into that forward bend. And then breathe out, releasing your heels if you're coming into the full squat or coming into the partial squat. Breathing in, palms away. Breathing out, hands down towards the floor. Breathing in, up in to a forward bend. Breathing out, coming back down into the squat. Just take a moment to breathe normally. Refresh your core. And then with an in-breath, bringing the hands up. Let's hold this balance for a moment and smile and jazz hands. Let's all wave at each other. Fantastic. So good. Right, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And then take your hands to the floor. Wonderful. Bringing yourself back into that forward bend. Pause for a moment to breathe long and deep. And then very slowly in your own time, bending your knees a little, tucking your pelvis, refreshing that core. From your tailbone, slowly uncurling all the way up. Vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing the crown of your head up last. Really slowly and gently coming back into standing, into mountain posture. And when you reach mountain posture, pause for a moment. Breathe long and deep. Taking your mind for a wee walk around your body, scan your body in your mind's eye. Notice how it feels, any sensations. Perhaps it feels more spacious, longer, hot or cold. Just notice how it feels in different parts as you take your mind and your awareness around. Notice any thoughts that arise or emotions. Knowing that yoga can release tension and trauma that we hold in our bodies. Welcome whatever arises without any judgment, no need for story. Give yourselves permission to release and let go. Old energy can show up through heat, through tears, through laughter, through yawning or burping, a whole pile of stuff. Just welcome it all. Give it permission to be, and allow yourselves to stand filled with compassion for you. And then slowly bringing yourselves fully into the present moment, opening your eyes if they're closed, have a bit of a wriggle, a shuggle, a shake out, and a really good drink of tea or water. Keep yourselves hydrated. Well done.